G'day, guys, and welcome back to AdosTheGreat YouTube channel. So, guys, in today's video, we will be ranking my round 20 NRL power ranking. So, 20 rounds have been and gone, which is crazy to say. We're now on to round 21. So, yeah, before the game kicks off tonight, I'll get you guys my power ranking. So, again, the bottom three are not hard. I think everybody would agree. Tigers last, Dragons second last, and then Bulldogs in 15th. I think that's absolutely fair. If you do disagree, let me know why, but I think those three are pretty self-explanatory, to be honest. All right, my next three. Roosters. Again, we say it every week. They've been very disappointing this year. They continue to be disappointing. Yeah, they're just I would have thought they'd be a little bit better than what they have been. I really would have. But yeah, Roosters at 14th. I think that's a fair ranking. Titans, I'm actually going to put in at 13th. Again, they compete, but they don't win. And they get to good leads and they blow them. It's disappointing. I actually have a soft spot for the Titans. I do respect the Titans a lot and I want them to do well. But yeah, I've got to put them at 13th. Next up, I'm going to go Manly. They played all right against the Cowboys, but I just thought the Cowboys were just way too dominant. And I think the scoreline actually doesn't reflect the game, in my opinion. I think the Cowboys deserve to win that by more. Um, yeah, Manly at 12th, I think is fine. Again, if you disagree, let me know why in the comments. Next up, the Finns in 11th. I think that's absolutely fine. You know, they played quite well against the Panthers, but again, the Panthers had no origin players. They were all ruled out. Nathan Cleary's still out through injury. So I don't know what you can really take from that. Dolphins had a few players out as well. They were brave, but yeah. I'm going to put Dolphins at 11th. Knights for me in 10th. Definitely could be higher as well. They've been playing some damn good footy. And I tell you what, the Bunnies, the Eels, and Sharks, if they start losing games and the Knights keep winning, Knights could be a finals team. Insane to say, but they could be. All right, in ninth, I'm going the Sharks. Again, they cannot beat a top 8 team. They got absolutely tailed up by the Warriors. I can't put them any higher. I really cannot put them any higher. Honestly, they were disappointing. In eighth, the first team in the top 8, another team that I thought was actually pretty disappointing last week, Parramatta. Now, yeah, they got the win over the Titans, but did they deserve it? I don't know if they did, to be honest. So again, they're a team that I could see dropping out of the top 8 if things don't go their way. So eighth spot for them, I think, is pretty fair. Next up, my Rabbitohs. We still need to see a lot more from the Rabbitohs for me to rank them higher. Personally, I do think that they can and probably will finish in the top 4. Look, obviously I'm going to be biased to my club. I really am. But I think this is a fair ranking. They've got all their players back now. Depending on how they go against the Broncos, I really think that if we beat the Broncos, I honestly believe we'll be a top 4 side. If we lose to the Broncos, we'll be around that 5 to 8 mark. That's my opinion there. Let me know what you guys think about that one. Again, if you disagree, let me know why in the comments. Next up, go on the Raiders. Look, they're winning games, but not convincingly. But I suppose at the end of the day, all you got to do is win. You win, it doesn't matter. You know, if the Raiders played the grand final and they were 24-0 up with 8 minutes to go, the team came back, it was 24 all, Raiders won 25-24. What does it matter? They still won the grand final. I just can't rank them higher than 6th, though. So I think that's a pretty fair ranking. Warriors, for me, in 5th, playing really good footy at the moment. They're looking outstanding. Love seeing good footy played from the Warriors. It is so good to see. I reckon they could make and win the comp. I really do. All right, next up, Storm. Again, another team that sort of wasn't expected to be a top 4 finisher, but again, you just can't write them off. They are outstanding this season once again, and it's just credit to players like Munster, Harry Grant, Coach Craig Bellamy. It's outstanding what they're doing. Brilliant. They lost a lot of good players earlier on in the season, and the players they brought in have just done a job for them. So yeah, I think they've done amazingly well. Next up, I'm actually going to put the Broncos down a little bit. Um, I wanted them to absolutely tail up the Bulldogs, and when I say tail up, I mean like 40 points to 6. I I thought that they could do that. They had definitely had the team to do that. I know they were missing Walsh, they were missing Haas and Carrigan, as well as Flegler, Ricky. Like, I know they're missing a lot of players. I understand that, but the Bulldogs lost Kyle Flanagan, relatively early in the game, and the Broncos, well, they still won by 20 and put 40 points on the Bulldogs. I thought defensively they were a bit off. So I think third is a pretty good ranking for them, to be honest. Next up, Panthers. I've brought them down. Well, they're sitting where they were last week, but I wasn't convinced with them against the Dolphins. Look, yeah, they were missing the Origin players and they had Cleary out, but Jerome Luai is still, he's an international player. He's an ex-Origin player. He needs to step up in those situations. And while they did win, I wasn't convinced with it. So Panthers in 2. For me, I know they're sitting at ninth, and this is probably my most controversial take of the year, but Cowboys at number 1. I really like what they're doing at the moment. And to be fair, they're kind of flying under the radar. Like, you know, teams, I don't think people are talking about the Cowboys enough. And I really think that they could be a dark horse, even if they probably will finish outside of the top 4. But even if they do finish outside of the top 4, I think they're one of the teams that can win it from outside of the top 4. So Cowboys for me are number 1 in the power rankings at the moment. Let me know who your number 1 is. Is it the Panthers, Broncos, Storm, Cowboys? Is it another team? Would love to hear from you guys. Drop it in the comments below. But again, that is going to wrap it up for me. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And as always, my friends, I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.